Good morning, family. What's up? Reggio here once again with another inspirational and motivational message. First and foremost, so grateful and thankful that the man above woke us up this morning to see another day. Realize without him, we cannot make it. Family, hope you all are doing well. I hope this week gets off to a good start, and I hope you reach all of your goals because you can, you will. Family, I was thinking yesterday about one of my favorite movies. And one of my favorite movies is the Black Panther. You guys remember the Black Panther when it first came out? Everybody was all excited. Black folks had on the dashikis. We were flooding to movie theaters to see this movie, but with an all-black cast directed by a black man. It was a phenomenal day. It was a great time to be black in America. We finally had a black superhero. We finally had a movie that represented us. One of my favorite scenes in that movie, very powerful scene that motivates me to this day, is the scene where it was what they call a challenge day. This was time for the prince to prove himself that in order to become king. Now we know Prince T'Challa, although he wasn't yet king, he still had the powers of the Black Panther. He wore the Black Panther suit. And in his father's death, he took on that role of being their leader. But now he had to complete the challenge in order to become king because that was one of their rituals. You could not become king of Wakanda if you did not complete the challenge. So on challenge day, everybody was excited. Everybody was smiling. Everybody was confident in Prince T'Challa. As they went around to each tribe pretty much said, we're not going to challenge today. We're not going to challenge the throne today. They all respected Prince T'Challa, and they all knew that he was going to become the king. So they didn't want to go against that. Well, M'Baku, who was the leader of the mountain men, M'Baku showed up to the challenge, and it shocked everybody, even Prince T'Challa, because nobody thought that anybody in their right mind would challenge Prince T'Challa because his father was a king, so that means that he was going to be king. So he was challenged by M'Baku. M'Baku accepted the challenge. And one thing I learned in life from that scene is that you are going to be challenged. Your spot, your place is going to be challenged. Somebody's trying to take your spot. Somebody's trying to take your position. Somebody's trying to take your possession. And you have to defend the throne. You have to defend your right to get what you want. What are you trying to say, Reggio? I'm saying that you can't be lazy. You can't complain. You can't make excuses. You can't take a day off. You can't rest. You can't relax. Why? Because somebody's always trying to take your spot. That house you want to live in, somebody's already out there looking at it. That car you want to drive, somebody's out there right now eyeing it. That career you want to have, people are striving and they want that career you have, that goal you have, that family you have. People want it. People are always trying to take your spot. And if you are not on guard, if you are not ready for battle, you're going to lose your place. Because in this life, family, we got to give 120% effort. And a lot of you all are going to lose your spot because you're not putting forth the effort. Not only are you not putting forth the effort, you're not putting forth the time. As my mama would say, boy, you ain't taking things serious. You're not serious about it. You don't really want it. You say you want it, but you're not willing to get up early. You're not willing to stay up late and study. You're not willing to put in the work and the effort to get what you want. So somebody's going to take your spot. Because as I realized as a young black man growing up in America, I had dreams of becoming an engineer since I was a teenager. I went to college to get a mechanical engineering degree. It took me 6 years to get a 4-year degree, but I'm so glad, thank God I got it, because it's not where you start, it's how you finish. I went through a lot of persecution. I went through a lot of obstacles. I had a lot of emotional things going on in my life. I lost family members. I lost loved ones. My finances was under attack because you guys know if you're a college student, if the student loans don't come in, if financial aid ain't got that money, then you can't continue your journey for your degree. So I had all those things against me, but I'm so glad that I stayed the course and I stayed focused. But I realized that when I graduated from Tuskegee University, I was just one of tens of thousands of mechanical engineers who were trying to get a job in corporate America. I went to about 10 to 15 interviews before I finally got a job. There was one job that I went to, there were 10 people there, and it was 9 positions. So I had a 90% chance to get a job, but I didn't get that job. What did I learn? I learned that it is competitive. People are competitive out there. Whatever you're working on, that business you're trying to put together, people are already getting those ideas and they're moving forward with it. You can't afford to wait till tomorrow. You can't afford to wait till next week. You can't afford to wait till right next year. Whatever your dream is, whatever your goal is, you got to go after it right now. You got to give 120% right now, because if you don't, somebody's going to take your spot. You don't want to lose your spot. You don't want to be the person that looks back and said, man, I had an idea to start this business, and all of a sudden I looked up and on Facebook and YouTube, I see somebody else with that same idea. Matter of fact, the idea is even better. And you're sitting there, you're distraught, you're upset because you did not get that business idea out there in time. You're mad at yourself. And that's the result when you procrastinate, when you wait to the last minute, when you don't give your all. Somebody else stands to inherit what you should have had because you did not put in the work. So family, I want you to remind you, as you go through this week, as you go through the rest of this day, as you go through the rest of this year in your life, don't lose your spot. Somebody's always coming up behind you. I think of the great Michael Jordan and LeBron James and Kobe Bryant. These men knew that each day they had to get stronger. Their game had to get better. Why? Because they knew every year there was more players coming into the league. Younger players, more athletic players. So LeBron James, Michael Jordan, and Kobe Bryant knew that if I wanted to keep my spot, if I wanted to stay in the position I was in, as looked at as one of the greatest or the greatest player at that time, I had to work harder. I had to put in the time. They had to work off in the off season. They couldn't take days off. They couldn't take vacation. And that's how it is with life. Somebody's coming up behind you. Somebody's trying to take your spot. And if you are not careful, they're going to take your spot. So family, focus, stay the course. Don't let somebody take your spot. Keep grinding, keep moving forward. Don't put things off. Move. When God says move, you move. Don't wait till somebody push you. Don't wait till somebody beg you. You need to make sure that you are giving 120% each day. Because at the end of the day, King T'Challa, he defended his throne. He became the king. But he didn't become the king just because his father was king. He had to prove himself. He had to put in the time. He had to fight for his right to be king. And some of you all out there acting like you're so privileged because of what your mama is or who your daddy is or who you know or what you know. But I'm here to tell you all that is good, but none of that matters because you're going to be challenged. And when you are challenged, you have to prove your worth. So family, go. Be great. Be blessed. Have a great day. God bless you. Till we meet again.